This is episode 30 of the Tap Room. I'm your host, Mike. Also have Gunnar on the intro here with me.
Good morning, all. Good morning.
We're going to be talking a little college football, but this interview, that'll be after the intro, will be with Brewski Bonds, Eddie Rodriguez from the Chug World Order. Really nice guy. Glad we got to sit down and, talk beer, talk about how we got into craft beer, talked a little wrestling, some comics, and a bunch of other good stuff. I will put the timestamp in the description of the episode for when the interview starts. But we'll start off like we always do. We got a brewski here. This is from El Segundo Brewing Company. It's Steve Austin's Broken Skull Double IPA, coming in at 8%. I know Gunnar loves his doubles.
No.
Yeah. There we go. And it's about 8:50 in the morning when we're recording this on a Saturday. Got some football games coming today. Gunnar's got a brisket in the smoker.
Started that at 3:45 in the morning. Up at 3 a.m.
There you go.
Get things going. Long day.
Yeah, got to start it off right. The mosquitoes are out already. Tearing up my ankles. Cheers. I think I've tried this once, but I can't remember what it tasted like.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's not as I couldn't remember. I'm trying to remember what I would have scored it before, but yeah, it's actually not bad at all. I still do prefer the single IPA, just a regular Broken Skull IPA, but this one's pretty.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah, this one's pretty.
I
good.
think it's so good. I'm just going to finish it off here.
Oh, there you go. Right on.
It's nice and cold.
Yeah, ice cold beer at 8:50 in the morning. What more do you need?
That's it.
I'm going to give this. I'm going to go in for one more drink here. Fly just got me in the eye there. I'm going to give this... I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think it's pretty good. It's nothing to write home about. I'd probably give the regular IPA probably 8.5. But it's pretty solid.
I'm not a big IPA guy. I'm more of a hazy kind of guy. But this is really good. Comes in at a 8%. So I'm going to give it an 8.
There you go.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Nothing wrong with that. So we got some college football coming up today. A lot of good games, or some pretty decent games. We have Texas, Alabama. We got SC's playing Stanford for probably the last time.
Yeah,
because they're not going to be in the Pac-12. Unless they do an independence game. A game on the non-conference game is what I mean.
Yeah, they could be. They might.
Yeah, because it's an old rivalry. I want to say they've played close to at least 100 times. I want to say.
You got some early good games. You got you got Notre Dame going on with South Carolina, North Carolina,
and North Carolina State. So NC State.
So that's a good game. Then you got the Nebraska and Colorado, and I hope Nebraska beats them. I'm not a Colorado fan.
Yeah,
I don't care too much about Deion Sanders.
Yeah, the hype train is big on Colorado right now. But watching that game last week, the TCU game. TCU's biggest mistake was they stopped running the ball. That when they were able to just, when they ran the ball, they were shredding that front seven of Colorado. So, I feel like that's the weakness. And they kind of played right into Colorado's hands because Colorado, they have a premier corner in Travis Hunter. And you just you played right into their hands. And I feel like that quarterback that they have, I can't remember his name, Morris.
Yeah, he wasn't all that. They're missing their quarterback from last year. He went on and he was, I think, the rock of their team last year. They were very, very good. And I think they came in ranked high because of that, but he's gone. Yeah. So it's not the same TCU team as last year.
Oh, definitely not. I feel like Colorado, I feel like he's done obviously a good job already, just beating TCU, but we'll see kind of how the rest of it plays out. How do you think that one goes today? Nebraska and Colorado. Because I think the spread is 3 points for Colorado.
If you look at, and they're talking about this morning, if you look at Nebraska's last 8 losses, going into last year, of course, they lost late in the game by a fumble, interception. Yeah. So they're there. They just can't make any mistakes. And if they don't make any mistakes, they can beat them.
Yeah. And plus they have a new coach too. So I can't remember the guy that was a coach for Carolina, the Panthers.
Is it Dubin or something?
I can't remember his name. I think SC is favored by 37, or I think it was 37 or 36 or something like that. It's kind of a tough. That's a lot of points.
Especially Stanford, because just Stanford just kind of gives us a game.
Yeah.
Every year. They give us a game. They're not a walkthrough.
No.
They won last week. I'm not sure who they played.
I think they played Hawaii. It was in Hawaii.
Yeah. It blew them out, I think.
No, it was actually, I think once they beat them by like 10 maybe. Yeah, it was a pretty close game. I can't remember. I remember it being somewhat close.
And this is the first year without David Shaw, right?
Yeah, first year without Shaw.
It's a different team.
Yeah, and he was kind of one of the hearts of the program too, obviously being the head coach. So I want to do pick six. Who do you think is going to go to the playoff?
I know picking 6?
No, we're picking 4.
Oh, I thought you said pick 6. I'm like, what?
Oh, no, yeah. The 4 that are, what 4 teams do you think make it to the playoff? I think Georgia's an automatic in.
Georgia, Michigan.
I think Michigan too, yeah. Ohio State, they got to figure out their quarterback situation.
Yeah, they're going to struggle. I think the winner of Texas and Alabama.
I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I could see Alabama doing it. Jalen Monroe looked okay, but we'll see if he's actually for real. I mean, They played, was it Middle Tennessee last week or something like that?
And I'm just going to go with my heart on the last one. That's going to be USC.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think Georgia, Michigan. I want to say SC, but I'm still kind of worried about Grinch. But I mean, the defense looked better last week. Yeah, it was Nevada. But hopefully, I think after this week, we can kind of tell what kind of defense they really have.
We just got to outscore everybody.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the game, I think.
Yeah, and Caleb's got to stay healthy. So I think it definitely SC can make it. I don't think Bama's as good as everybody thinks they are.
No.
I think...
And then we'll find out today. I think Texas is a good, strong team.
Yeah, I picked Texas to just, in a parlay, just to beat them straight up. So hopefully that happens. We'll see. We'll see if I'm sad next week. Or later. Well, what time does that game start? 4:30?
Yeah, it's a late game.
Yeah, and then friggin' SC's at 7:30.
Oh, yeah. I'll be sleeping.
Yeah. I'm trying to think that 4th team is going to be tough. I mean, I wanted to say LSU, but yeah. Oh, yeah, I wanted to say it was LSU, but I think, I mean, Florida State looked good, but I mean, who knows?
Florida
They might have
State
a letdown.
Really good.
So I think Florida State could sneak in. And Ohio State, too. I feel like Ohio State, if they can figure out their quarterback situation, they can definitely have a chance to get in.
And I'm actually pulling for Florida State, and there's a madness to my thinking. What do they call it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because that Prime's goal is to be a coach at Florida State.
Oh, yeah.
So I want Florida State to win, because I'm pulling for that coach. I don't want him to leave.
Yeah.
Because they're going to fit right into Prime, and here you go, man. Here's your team. And
oh, yeah.
I don't want that. Not a fan.
Yeah. But yeah, some great games today. All that good stuff.
How about UCLA? Kind of quiet.
Yeah. I mean, Dante Moore, they're starting the true freshman. He was that 5-star kid, that number 1 quarterback. I mean, he looked okay in his first game. They won. So, I mean, that's all you could ask for. And if he continues to, it's about progression. Like, if he can continue to get better each week, I mean, they could definitely make some noise. Obviously, the Pac-12 is the deepest it's been in a long time.
Yeah, 13-0.
Yeah,
right now.
And what's crazy too is they're 13-0, and it's the last year of it. So when was the last time you thought of the Pac-12 and you're like, man, they have 6 or 7 good teams?
Yeah, how many they got in the top 25?
I think 5 right now.
Yeah,
and I'm sure if Colorado wins this week, they'll be in the top 25 for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Before we jump, we don't have a second beer, but we're gonna do a mimosa because we figured it's college game day Saturday.
Gonna have to down this baby right here.
There we go. First ever mimosa review on the show. This is La Marca Prosecco. Let's just say we bought. Gunnar got these when last year.
So
was supposed to be for the to celebrate. Beating Utah in the Pac-12 title game.
That didn't happen.
And that did not happen, so we did not crack them open. But let's go ahead and... I probably should have shook up this orange juice. That's fine. But mimosas always go down... I can't talk today. It's always go down easy. There you go.
It's a good way to start the morning. Saturday morning. It's a nice day. It's going to be a little warm today.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be 80... Oh, no, 98, 90. I mean.
Yeah.
Or 90-something. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, Gunner's got the brisket. We're gonna do some pork belly. I'm gonna make some breakfast sandwiches in a little bit, and then I'm gonna make some mac and cheese. And I'm sure other people are gonna bring a bunch of stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of food, like there always is. But cheers.
Cheers.
First ever mimosa review on the show. So one thing about mimosas, they go down so easy. They just, yeah.
And I just happen to put a little bit more orange juice than.
Oh, there you go.
So it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, goes right down. You don't even taste the booze. For that mimosa with the combination of, is it Tropicana? Yeah, Tropicana. I thought it was the other one. I thought it was Simply. It's Tropicana, no pulp. Because if you like pulp, you're weird. Just kidding.
La Marca, big seller.
There you
go.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a big fat 10 because that's
definitely. It's a good way to start the morning.
Yeah, might be the best way to, especially if you're doing like game day or if you're like tailgating and stuff like that. And La Marca's 11%. There we go.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you're gonna be on the floor pretty soon.
Pretty much.
All right, there's another mosquito was coming my way. I had to smack
attacked.
it out of the air. Yeah. NFL's back. First game was the other day. On Thursday, Lions won.
That was awesome. I didn't even know what the final score was till the following morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes.
Yeah. Oh no, because I left right at the end of the third quarter when I left here, and I got home and I checked the score. I was like, oh shit, they won.
Yeah, that was great. I like that.
Yeah.
Detroit looks pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, I like that kid Gibbs. I mean, David Montgomery's always been a good running back for Chicago too. So I mean, you got a running back duo like that. I mean, and if Jared Goff can play the way he did the other day, I mean, they have a chance to win a lot of games.
He's finally growing up, I think.
Yeah.
Finally growing up.
Yep. And what else? Joe Burrow got paid. Was it a 5-year extension worth $275 million?
Yeah. Highest paid now?
Yeah, highest paid of all time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And even Bosa got a big contract. What was his? Like 5 years, 170?
175 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, good for Joey Bosa. He's one of the best in the league. So.
Yeah.
Is it Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa that got it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the
Bosa brothers.
Either way.
Then you got, I believe you got Miami and Chargers this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, they're playing each other, yeah.
I know Jamin was saying he was wanted to come down here and today and spend the night and go to the game and take off tomorrow.
Yeah.
See if that happens.
Yeah,
Chargers, is pretty much my NFL team.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have a good year. I kind of became a 49er bandwagoner because of Christian McCaffrey. Love Christian McCaffrey. What an awesome player.
Yeah, he's awesome. I don't know how much. I mean, we'll see. I think Jordan Love's going to be okay. I mean, being a Packer fan, I think he's going to be all right. I hope so anyway. But, I mean, I think we'll know how good he is, like, if he's, like, our next, long-term quarterback by, like, middle of the season.
Yeah.
Because you need to give him, like, at least 8 games before you can kind of figure out, what you have.
Are you doing a Super Bowl pick?
Yeah, we'll do that. Who do you think? Yeah, we'll do Super Bowl pick in the AFC and NFC. So who do you got in the AFC?
Buffalo Bills.
Oh, the Bills. Yeah. Hot pick. I mean, I do like, what's his name? Oh, Lord.
Allen?
Yeah, freaking Josh Allen. I was like, what the fuck's his name? I couldn't think of it. I like that. I mean, I think that could happen. I think in the AFC it's going to be, I think the Bengals for me. I mean, the Chiefs are going to be tough. Like, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but I think the Bengals take that next step. I mean, because they've gone through the playoffs each year and gotten better.
Good team.
Yeah. I mean, they already made it to the Super Bowl once, made it to the AFC Championship last year. Probably should have won if it wasn't for a kind of a bad call or some really bad calls in that game. So I think the Bengals in the AFC. Who do you got in the NFC?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of...
Eagles are good.
Yeah, I mean, and then they got those guys in the first round, too, so it's like, man, they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough to beat. I feel like Philly's got a good shot. I think Phillies and the Bengals would be a pretty good Super Bowl.
That'd be a great Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You'll have Mike Trout standing on the sideline, of course.
Oh, yeah, Mike Trout. Maybe he'll be a Philadelphia Philly next year.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I love my Angels, but Mike Trout, get out.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear about friggin' Walker Buehler for the Dodgers?
Yeah.
They shut him down.
Tommy John surgery, right?
Oh, no, yeah. He already had his second one. He was doing rehab starts in AAA, and they shut him down. They're like, he's done for the year. So.
Well, Tony's going to go through his second. I think that's going to maybe hurt him a little bit because he's probably supposed to get the highest
Yeah.
contract ever in sports history or whatever the case is. And I think just having that second surgery, which he is going to do, is going to hurt that a little bit. I think like I said, I'm an Angels fan, but I think the Angels just wasted him.
Yeah. And they've kind of done it with Trout too, and it's like, frick. But yeah, baseball's coming to an end. I think there's 22 games left, I think.
My Angels still have a chance.
No, still fighting their way. Just got to win 22 in a row.
Yeah, there you go. How many games left?
I think it's 22. Now the Braves.
Where did the Astros come from? They came out of nowhere, and now they're on top.
Yeah, so they're. I think Seattle won yesterday, so I think they might be tied. Where's my phone at? Let's check that. Check the old standings here. Probably should have had that ready. But yeah, I want to say the Braves won yesterday, but they had a tough. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals. I feel like they get up for the big teams sometimes, and I feel like they kind of get down for or just don't play as hard maybe for the other teams. But let's see here. Standings are pulled up. So, yeah, Houston's up by half a game on Seattle. But the only thing is because Seattle has played one less game than them. So, but if Seattle wins, then they would be tied for the division. Texas is 3 games back, the wild card. We have in the National League, it's Philly, Chicago, and Arizona, but Miami's right on their heels. We're only 1 game back, but they've played one less game. Cincinnati's only a game and a half back, so with 22 games, anything can happen. There's so many teams that could end up squeaking in.
I just think when it comes to the end, my Braves are going to be there.
Oh, your Braves are going to be there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, been a fan since 1972.
1972, Charles. And then the American League, it's Tampa Bay, Seattle, and Toronto. Tampa Bay's going to make it. Seattle should. They're playing good ball. And then Toronto, I feel like Texas is in a free fall. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. And then the Red Sox are 6 games out of that. So, I don't really see the Red Sox making it to the wild card. But so those are the 3 teams. But both races are really tight for the last second and third spots.
I just think that, and I say I'm a Braves fan, but I kind of pull for the Braves because of you. Yeah. Not that I'll ever go out and buy a jersey or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I just think the Braves are so loaded. It's just oh my God. I always wanted, by the time the trade deadline came along, I actually wanted Ohtani to go to the Braves.
Yeah.
And then the Angels maybe get about 5 players from you guys.
Yeah.
And, because you guys are so loaded. Those guys are just incredible the way they play.
Yeah, they hit a ton of home runs. Yeah, you walk away for a second and then you come back, they hit 2 or 3. So
Right. They probably got the best looking guys in baseball, too.
Yeah, Austin Riley, yeah, he's hot.
He's hot.
Matt Olson, obviously.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll wrap up the intro. Thanks for being on, Gunnar.
You got it.
We'll go. I'm gonna go make some breakfast sandwiches. Stay tuned for the interview. Like I said, Brewski is awesome. Brewski Bonds, really good dude. Some interviews, episodes coming up. I have next week's the Beery Godmother. The week after that is Dylan from Oak and Otter. The week after that, I believe, is Kate Bernot from the the North American Guild of Beer Writers. She's the director, and then I think it's going to be Humble Sea. I want to say, and then I have Snacks on Tap somewhere in there. Shout out to Snacks on Tap, Juan and Justin. And then I locked up. I think I'm going to go to Whittier Brewing in early October. So that episode will be out sometime. I don't have a set list here, but hope you guys enjoyed the intro. Stay tuned for the interview. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll record the outro. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room. Actually, back at Noble, recording an episode here with Brewski Bonds, also known as Eddie Rodriguez. What's going on, brother?
Not too much, just hanging out.
Yeah, coming down to Noble and having a brewski. Well, we'll start it off like we always do. We got a brewski here from Noble. It's the Felt Clementine. This is a banger. It's one of their hazies. Let's do it.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Well, thanks for being on the show, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I know we've been kind of going back and forth for the last month or so, I feel like. But we finally got it all hammered down, so we're here. But I always like to ask everybody when they're first on the show, because obviously being about craft beer, what kind of got you into craft beer?
Just trying something different because, everybody starts off with a Bud Light, Budweiser, all those things that the party beers. everything you can get in a case of beer, like a 36 pack. Like, I just wanted to try something different. I got into Shock Top, Blue Moon. Eventually got into, what was it? Fat Tire.
Okay.
And eventually ended up trying IPAs. I'm like, okay, this is my style right here.
Yeah.
IPAs are my jam. This is what I'm into. Tried more and more and more, and finally visit breweries, and it was off from there. Off to the races. Just kept on trying more breweries and loving them.
That's awesome.
Love hitting up new spots, new beers. No matter what the style, I'm down to try something new.
That's cool, man. And then that's always kind of, I love to be able to go to different places. Sometimes I'll try like different things. A lot of times though, like if I'm reviewing beers, like I always like try to avoid trying something that I don't normally drink, because I'm not trying to go in there and, you know, give somebody a bad score or something like that, because it's not even my style. So I always kind of feel like I talked about that with the episode that's coming up with from Hermosa Brewing. She was like, "This is like that's exactly what Untapped is."
Exactly.
It's like not really my style, but 1.1 stars.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to rely on Untapped, because you have a lot of people trying lagers that don't drink lagers.
Yeah.
And they're going to give you a bad review. And I was like, wait, this beer was amazing. Why is it so low?
Yeah.
And same with an IPA. Oh, I don't drink IPAs. This is terrible. 1 star. Like,
Yeah.
You can't really rely on it. But then you go to people's profiles and see what they rate. Then you can get a better reading off that beer.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why it's always it's good to always try new things and stuff like that. I try to, even like I love stouts too, but like stouts I drink mostly, like I'll have some here and there, but like on a hot day, really sure you want to drink a stout.
Yeah, depends. Like at least not a whole can of a stout, not
yeah.
a whole stout. Maybe like a little taster.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah. So one thing you are famous for on Instagram is chugging. So I did want to talk about that. And I'm always curious because I am the worst. Like we'll do a chug for a video later, but I am absolute just garbage at chugging. Like I can chug, but it's like not nearly as fast. Like how the hell do you drink it so damn fast?
I would say it all started with just party drinking, especially like beer pong or flip cup.
For sure.
You got a full cup of beer, like you just want to down it so you can get to flipping your cup, or that way you don't get stuck with death cup on beer pong. Yeah. And then there's like you just want to throw it so you can put it down and get back to playing.
No doubt.
And then it's like best thing to do is try to make sure it's not too cold or too warm.
Yeah.
Because then it'll go down easier, like a little bit warmer, not so cold. But my thing is I like to take a big deep breath, big exhale, and then it just flies down.
Yeah.
It usually goes down easier like that.
Yeah.
But other people got other secrets.
Oh,
I feel like that's my easiest trick, to just take that big deep breath and exhale as much as you can. And once you start chugging, it's like you're just inhaling the beer.
Yeah.
But I've seen some people that are much faster than me, and they have that same tip too.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, my buddy Ernie, he can chug like that. I'm like, dude, I just don't. And he can continually do it. I'm like, man, because after chugging so many beers, eventually I'll get to the point I'm like, whoop, like it just kind of stakes. Like it feels like it's just all foam right here.
That'll happen to me too sometimes.
Yeah.
After going about 4 or 5, maybe 6 of them in a night, it'll be like, yeah, I think I got to tap out. But then they get talked into it. Like after that one, I'm like, I'll be back.
Yeah.
So it's not staying down. It happens.
Yeah, my brother, he always uses, like, if he ever gets to that point, or either one of us, he always has his beer salt with him. It's like, do you remember the movie Selena, when he always had his hot sauce on his belt?
It's holstered on his belt. Yeah.
That's pretty much my brother with beer salt.
That's funny.
Yeah. So do you have, when you're not chugging, though, what's your favorite style to drink?
I have been getting more and more into stouts.
Okay.
So, like, if, for example, I was working out in Oceanside recently, and my go-to was Pure Project in Carlsbad. It was like a 9-minute drive from my hotel to the brewery.
Yeah.
And I would go in there. My go-to usually is hazy IPA. I'll go. It's funny because I was going there so much at the time. They already knew me my name, and they knew what beer I wanted. Eddie, right? Yeah. What was the beer? I forgot the name of the beer already, but they said it like, you know me already. I'll take one of those and a 5-ounce pour of the stout.
There you go.
And I'll just sit there, sip on the hazy, and just on the side sip on the stout too. So I've been doing that more lately. Drinking a hazy and a stout next to it.
Okay.
Just so I can try more of each.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Stouts are amazing. I've come to love them. They grew on me so much, especially when you try like some that have like chocolate or vanilla, hazelnut.
For sure.
I'm usually iffy when I see coconut or coffee in it.
Okay.
Those two kind of scare me, but then I'll try it and it's like not too strong.
Yeah.
But like with the hazelnut, it's perfect.
Nice.
Like one that just came out at Pure was Hazelsaurus Rex.
Oh shit.
The coffee had me iffy on it, but it was hazelnut, coffee, and I believe vanilla.
Okay.
The coffee was not overpowering at all. It was
Awesome.
really good.
Yeah, I love I like coffee porters and stouts and stuff like that too. Those are my go-to. But like you said, there's certain breweries out there breweries like that just like Bottle Logic when they put out their stouts in the winter, like November-ish, like winter-ish, and it's like those are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I do the one episode a year where I'll do Stoutsgiving.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites. So maybe might have to have you on for that episode.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, so we'll get the guys over here from Noble. Is there an easier style to chug?
It varies from person to person because some people I see chug a lot of lagers. Some
Okay.
people chug a lot of seltzers.
Yeah.
I like hazies because it's just my favorite kind of beer.
Okay.
So it just goes down easier to me. Like I'm used to the flavor of it going down.
Yeah.
But sometimes somebody will give me a lager and it'll go down just as quick too.
Okay.
And then there's people that will say chugging a stout is easier because it's not as carbonated. Yeah. And like you don't get that big burp right after.
Oh, for sure.
Like so stout can go down easier for some people as a lager can or a
Yeah.
hazy. So it all just varies on like what your style is, but to me, I like chugging hazies.
Okay. Nice.
West Coast are a little too piney for me to do.
Yeah, that might be a little danky. Yeah.
I will say, of the beers that have come back up on me, West Coast was probably the ones that came up the most.
Yeah. I at least, I mean, like I said, I don't honestly chug that up unless we're like me and the boys are doing shotguns and stuff. But when I've chugged beers, I do feel like when I've had like Guinness or stuff like on St. Patty's Day or anything like that, I do feel like those do go down a little easier. Mm-hmm. And you're probably right because of the
carbonation,
less carbonation and stuff like that. But it's good stuff, man. Like it's cool. Like every time I see your guys' videos, I'm like, fuck, dude.
That's funny because like sometimes we'll just like jokingly call someone out or like challenge someone to like a chug off or something. And we'll go live or something or just a video chat. Yeah. And we have fun with it too. Like we'll say like, all right, let's get a chug off. Winner owes a 4 or winner gets a 4-pack. All right, let's do it. Yeah. And like we'll do it on live or something and. That way, sometimes we'll get a crowd. If not, then it'll just be one-on-one. Okay. And just post a recording of it. But yeah, we have fun with it. It's fun.
Oh, for sure. I mean, because I've gone into a couple of you guys' lives before, where I've seen you guys. And who's the guy that lives in like England, or he lives like? Because
that's Tiki Tom.
Like, is it like 7 a.m? Like sometimes I see you guys. Well, I know it's later for him, but I see you guys and it's like 7 a.m. I'm like, holy shit.
That's Tiki Tom. That guy can drink. He'll drink us all under the table. Oh, dang. Because our proper pint is 16 compared to their 20-ounce pints. Dang. And that's like a normal beer for them. Yeah. So with us chugging a 16, he's chugging a 20. Yeah. And this dude, he'll have like 3 or 4 more beers already lined up. Like, what the hell, dude? Yeah. Chill. Give us some time to rest for a little bit. And yeah, that can drink. Dang. And he's a big dude, too. Yeah. I saw him like walk through his threshold one day and his head almost touched the ceiling. Like, God damn, that was big. I didn't realize that till I saw him walk away. Yeah. And how did like the whole chugging start? Because I know there's like the whole CWO thing and all that. How did that start? Well, chugging, I started chugging on IG when I first started chatting with my guy, We Are Parched. And me and that guy have just gotten closer and closer. That's my boy. Nice. I stayed at his place. Like every time I stay at his place, like his family feels like family to me too. Like the kids feel like nieces and nephews to me. His wife feels like it's like a sister-in-law kind of thing, and like they're family to me. Yeah. But there was one time he hit me up, and we were just chatting about like wrestling stuff, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" He sends me a picture of the black and white logo for CWO. Yeah. And I look at it like, I like it. But I want to make a change. Yeah. Send me one in red. Yeah. So then he makes the changes, sends me the black and red version. I'm like, that's the side I want. Yeah. You do your black and white side, I'll do my side. And then so like, all right, let's make it a thing. That's awesome. And then sure enough, like slowly start pulling people into a side. Yeah. And it never really kicked off. Funny thing, because what really kicked it off was Last year, I forgot if it was January or February. There was a big bottle share, the trifecta bottle share that Louis Liquor helped put together.
Okay.
So we had a party bus that picked a bunch of us up from Louis Liquor and then took us out to Beaumont at the Craft Lounge
Oh,
where
dang.
Jimmy runs. And so from there, like I had a chug before I got on the bus with some friends that went with us too.
Yeah.
And on the bus, drinking on the bus, we get to the bottle share in Beaumont, nothing but beers all around. Everybody's pouring, everybody's drinking.
Yeah.
We're getting drunk, and then
Nice.
it's time to go. So we get back in the bus, and we're still drinking. But what happens on the bus stays on the bus.
Yeah.
But just know there was a pole in there.
Yeah.
But after that, we leave. Then we head back to our hotel. I see some friends are on the live. I go in, jump on. I do a chug with one of my friends. And like, all right, cool. It's time for me to head to Aero Lodge, where a bunch of us were meeting up afterwards. And then that's where Parch got there. He didn't go to the bottle share, but he went to the meetup afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm already feeling way too good to I should have took a nap or something. But
Yeah.
I get there, we're all hanging out. We do a couple more chugs there. And like I said, I should have took a nap because that's when my nap happened.
Oh,
and
shit.
I'm just taking a nap on the table. And to my knowledge, like later on when I wake up, I see videos the next day as I'm passed out on the table. Everybody took their turn on the black and white side, doing a chug with like right behind me,
Oh,
and
dang.
everybody's just going like, yeah, woo. I'm like, God dang it, they caught me
Yeah.
slipping.
Yeah.
Like that's when it really popped off and started. Like, all right, I gotta figure something out to get them back.
It happens to the best of us.
So we just started like making reels and just having fun with it.
That's
like
awesome.
it's fun with all the videos we do.
Yeah.
Like we like try to impersonate wrestlers, and
Yeah.
that's the fun part too. Just
Yeah.
kind of having your own little gimmick.
That's awesome.
Like I try to do, or my guy that I do, I call it Scott Hops for Scott
yeah.
Hall.
Well, because it looks like Scott Hall.
I'll come
is
in
on
with
your
the
profile picture.
toothpick and flick it.
There
Hey
you go.
yo,
Yeah.
you gotta let the hair down for that too.
Scott will always have my favorite Hall of Fame speech of all time.
Yes.
It was like, what, 7 words or something like that? Or something like that? Or 10
Dreams come true.
words? Yeah. Yeah, was it?
Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Banger.
I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I gotta do a video to that.
Mic drop. Yeah.
Yeah, mic drop.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I ended up doing one, like I think on in honor of him, like a week after he passed, because of that speech. I did
Yeah.
that.
I mean, Scott was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
and for everybody listening, if you're not a wrestling fan, like what the NWO was like I would say a big faction back in the 90s, early 2000s. Was it, when did WCW disband? Was that 2001, 2002?
Early 2000s.
Yeah, so yeah, it was like NWO was still around back then. But yeah, there was that. I mean, it first started off as the black and white, and then obviously Kev and Scott went to the
Then they started the Wolf
yeah,
Pack.
started the Wolfpack. Love that song though, when they would say Wolfpack's in
Yeah.
the house, banger.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because like we're using more songs that have something to do with Wolfpack.
Yeah,
Like what's a Wolfpack party? Like there's a bunch of different songs. Like I'm liking this little selection that we have.
yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, it's cool when you can bring like people together like through that stuff because then it just like you create your own community.
Yeah, it's a whole fun like chug community because I know there's a lot of chuggers out there on Instagram that
for
we
sure.
haven't,
Yeah.
we don't even know about yet.
Yeah,
Cause but it's like
Hey,
a
maybe
lot
this-
of them,
yeah.
a lot of the people that we have together are mostly like California people.
Yeah.
And then we've like pulled in people from Florida, Texas, Michigan, Maryland, like all over the U.S. And
That's
then,
awesome.
like we mentioned before, we even got people from across the pond.
Yeah.
Tiki Tom, he's chugging with us too all the time.
that's awesome. I would say I need a CWO shirt, but I'm probably not worthy of.
Just let me know. we can make it happen.
But I would jump on the red and black for you.
Yeah, here we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, do you have a favorite wrestler of all time?
It would probably be two. My top two in no order would be Scott Hall, but maybe there is an order. Number one is actually Undertaker.
Okay.
Because my very first match I
Yeah.
ever watched, when I fell in love with it, was him and Mankind on the Hell in a Cell when Mankind got
yeah.
tossed off.
Banger.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That just happened? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And it was just such an instant classic of a match too.
But do you have a favorite tag team?
That's tough. Favorite tag team of all time? Probably Edge and Christian.
Okay, see,
Yeah, ENC all the way. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's tough to decide between three, and those three are Edge Christian,
Yeah.
Hardy Boys, and Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
Those three were just instant classic matches. They always had the
Oh,
TLC
yeah.
matches, the ladder matches.
Oh, for sure.
Those are always good.
Yeah.
Always
Who's
fun
your
times.
so it'd be Taker then Scott?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, who could argue with Taker? Like Taker's just like he's Mount Rushmore for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, guy never dropped a gimmick or anything like that. Even when he was going to basketball games, he was still coming out as Taker.
And then currently, though, one of my favorites right now would definitely be Ricochet.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah.
My reasoning for that was because I actually saw him wrestling in the auditoriums
Oh, dang.
before going to WWE.
That's pretty cool.
And out in Reseda, they used to run these events for Pro Wrestling Guerra, a PWG.
Okay.
And we used to go to see those, and he was the one that really stood out to me. And like he was a high flyer even back then.
Yeah.
And there was one time I actually saw Ronda Rousey and Travis Brown like on the top of the auditorium, like separated from everybody else, so
Oh,
nobody
dang.
bugs them. But I don't like they were loving it too,
Yeah.
like just as much as we were. Like,
Yeah.
hey, look, that's Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And then like they left a little early to avoid the crowd.
Yeah.
But like I see how she ended up in WWE. Like she was just as into it as we were.
Oh, for sure. And you know what's crazy? It's like I know there's kind of like there can be like a stigma with like being a wrestling fan, but I feel like man like. It's something you love. Who gives a shit? Like people read comic books as I do, or like people love certain things, like love soap operas and shit like that. I mean, and all that sort of stuff. I love it. Like Shawn to me is the GOAT. I mean, I love Shawn Michaels.
It's funny. I was just watching a video earlier of Shawn Michaels, just a compilation of super kicks.
Oh yeah.
Also, happy birthday to Shawn Michaels as
Yeah.
well.
Happy birthday to my GOAT, to Heartbreak Kid. I always that's where the Mike thing came from. Because my real name's Jonathan.
That's right.
But I
Yeah.
go by Mike, yeah. Because it was just like they used to call me Michaels because I would throw on the tights and I would jump off ladders and do a bunch of dumb shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was always doing stuff like that. Fuck, I wish I was at my buddy's this past weekend when I recorded the intro for the episode that dropped with the tapping into America. And I have the winged eagle. But I left it at his house. I forgot it. I woke up hungover because I had to drive to Hermosa. Or to Torrance to record at Hermosa with Adrian. But man, yeah, I mean, I still love watching it. Like me and the boys still get to we don't watch every pay-per-view, but we still get together for all the big ones. Except for the one that I never I always feel like is whatever is Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but SummerSlam, Mania obviously, and the Rumble.
Yeah.
The Rumble's.
Those are the big three right there.
I freaking love it. I mean, I love watching the Rumble too. That's one of my favorite ones to watch every year.
And luckily for Peacock, I have a way to keep up with at least the main events or the
for sure,
pay-per-views. Because I don't always have time on a Saturday or Sunday, so I'll just go watch the replay of it and Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hey guys, no spoilers. I'll watch it this week, I swear.
Yeah.
Sure enough, somebody will say something and spoil at least one match. God dang it.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Let me watch it.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But the other day I just finished last week I watched, what was the latest one? The one that just happened.
Was it Money in the Bank? No, that was a while ago.
SummerSlam, yes.
Yeah.
That was a good one. But I do keep up with Raw because Monday night is easier to watch. Then I'm usually busy on a Friday night.
Yeah.
But one guy I do follow a lot right now is LA Knight. That guy's awesome.
Guy's killing it, yeah.
That guy's great.
Guy's killing it. And
It's
what's
funny
crazy? He's
'cause-
41 and he's he's over a motherfucker right now.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually, today, I started having the guy, I got all the guys at work saying, yeah. I have to say, hey, can you get me the glue real quick? Yeah. Just all
Nice.
randomly.
It was almost reminding me of the Daniel Bryan, the Yes thing. When the Yes movement was going on, it was
Right.
that was insane during that time. Have you ever been to a WrestleMania or anything?
No, I really dropped the ball and didn't go this year. But
Yeah, dude, I didn't go either.
in my
but I've been to
defense, we did have a family trip that we did to Big Bear.
two. Okay.
We left Friday morning, Saturday. I ended up putting I put WrestleMania on the TV, so we were
There you
watching
go.
it there. And then Sunday we got home. If I would have known, I probably would have took my own car and drove back and just to make it for Sunday's event.
Yeah.
But I wish I could have went. But it looks like Philly's already selling out for next year.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. I mean,
It is a dream of mine to go to WrestleMania still, to fulfill my childhood dream.
There you go. Yeah, that's one of my favorite calls was that Vince said it about Shawn. He's like, the boyhood dream has come true. Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
But I was at that one. I was at 12.
Nice.
Yeah, that one was fun. I went to that one in 31.
Where was that? Anaheim?
Yeah, that was within the pond.
Okay, yeah.
And
I,
then
honestly, as a
Santa
Ducks
Clara.
fan, I call it the Ponda instead of Honda Center.
Yeah, I still call it the
I still
pond,
think of it
too.
as the pond.
Yeah. And that's cool. So I know you're a Ducks fan, you're an Angels fan, a Bucks fan as well?
Yeah, Tampa.
Okay.
Which I'm actually going to Florida. I fly out the 15th. I'm going to the Bucks home opener this year.
Awesome.
I'm excited for that because it falls on my birthday weekend as well, so that's going to be a great
Cool.
time.
When's your birthday?
September 19th.
Oh, that's coming up.
Yeah, and then the first home game is the 17th. And then we're going to be hitting up some breweries. My boy that lives out there, he's part of the CWO too, Drinking with Padre. He's going to take, I'll be hanging with him. We're going to hit up Universal Studios Horror Night out there in Orlando.
Okay.
Disney World. And then like a bunch of breweries out there.
Okay.
And it's great timing because the day of my birthday out there, the Angels play in Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm like, once I saw that, lock it up. Let's make it happen. Let's go.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, that'll be a good time, and I hope you have a blast out there. And
I know it'll be a better time than last time because last time I was out there, what we just had right now, or this past weekend with the tropical storm,
Oh yeah.
wasn't my first one. I got to experience one out there as well.
Dang.
That was last November. It was wild. That's why I wasn't really panicking much. But it was like, it's just going to be a bunch of sideways rain and real windy, flooding. Nothing to worry about too much.
Yeah, I sent the meme of what's the weather reporter from Family Guy was like, it's raining sideways. I sent the meme to
Ollie Williams.
Yeah, because my mom texted, because she's out in Kansas City, so
Okay.
she's all far away, and she messaged me, was like, hey, is everything okay? I just put it, hey, it's raining sideways.
Yeah, people were, like in Florida were hitting me up, like, hey, just check in, make sure you're okay. Like, honestly, you know, I was out there for the last one you guys had out there from the Hurricane Nicole.
Yeah.
This ain't nothing. I've seen worse out there.
Yeah. It was crazy. I saw like Dodger Stadium, like the whole entire parking lot got flooded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty nuts.
A lot, like LA River was flooding too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of rain.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of needed that in LA.
Yeah, for sure.
That
I feel
definitely
like we're in
helped.
a drought all the time.
Yeah.
So, you have a beer for us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to... It's going to be, might be a few minutes for us, but it'll be a second for you guys. So we're going to hit pause and we're going to jump back in. And we're back. I feel like what I recorded here with Noble, or with Josh, Jimmy, and Paul that first time, I felt like I said, and we're back, like I don't know how many times. It was Frajo breaks, it was beer
Might be
breaks.
at least one more.
Yeah. But so you brought a beer for us.
Yeah, so this is a stout from one of my all-time favorite breweries, Humble Sea. They're out of Santa Clara, or Santa Cruz, my bad.
Yeah.
I always get the two mixed up. But this one is the dark expiration comprised of 3 different barrels produced from 3 distinct stout recipes, and a little too much to describe right now, but
That's all
it
good.
was aged in apple brandy barrels,
Yeah.
and this is
Yeah. Cheers, brother.
damn good stout.
Yeah.
Very easy
On
drink.
the nose, it is.
You get that chocolatey.
Yeah, but on the
smell.
nose, it smells super boozy.
But then you take that sip,
Yeah,
and it really
you take
isn't.
that. Yeah, when we're going for a sip here.
Oh God,
That's fucking. It's so smooth.
I can drink more of this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many I could drink. I might be able to do like a bottle, or maybe do
Yeah.
like a share, like half and
If
half.
I don't have to drive, feed me.
Oh yeah, that's it was what 13.4.
Yeah.
That'll get you there.
But Humble Sea is my all-time favorite brewery right now.
Yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to try their hazies, amazing.
They got some
Even their-
phenomenal stuff.
Yes, when they do their quad IPAs, even those are just not boozy. Like they're just too smooth. They're dangerous.
You know, it's crazy because I had that conversation because depending on like what it is, like even like you like mentioning quads, like when I have those, I had one from Dust Bowl once, and it was like this is back when it was like taps and tailgates, and it was like 15.4.
Was that the Mega?
Yeah, the mega
dump
Dust Bowl.
truck?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it almost looked like a monster truck or something like
Yeah.
that. I tried that one, but I was like, "Fuck, dude! Like, it wasn't
That
boozy."
was
At least
a
for me, it wasn't.
dangerous one.
Yeah, it wasn't boozy at all. I was like, "Holy shit!" But I mean, like, how many could you really have?
2 max.
Yeah.
And I'm good.
Yeah, trashed after that.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. But I feel like you can do that but I also feel like, I mean, there are some breweries out there, and you know me, I'll never mention any names or anything like that. But there are times where I've had triples and quads, and I feel like it's just overly boozy, and you're like, fuck, dude, like they're hard to get down.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, whose palate is this? Like, who likes to drink that?
Like, who enjoyed this so much that they made a big batch of it?
Yeah, I mean, and that's
But
the thing.
there's a lot of people that say like the more bitter it is, it's for me. Like this and that. Like the less bitter, that's cool with me too.
Yeah, I like both.
I'll go for bitter sometimes when I'm in the mood for the bitterness.
Yeah.
And then like when you want something and it's just too boozy, it's just harder to drink.
Oh, for sure. But I do like the like the bitter or dankiness. Like, obviously, I'm not going to drink like a whole 4-pack of them. I might drink that whole 4-pack over like a couple, like maybe over a week or whatever. But I'll have one and then I'll mix in other stuff. But I do love that bitter dankiness, like, you know, super piney kind of flavor. Yeah, and when you can have that, I mean, if you can put those two together, or when you have like even like there's a West Coast that I had over at it was a West Coast called Cerberus. I think it'll be out for when people listen. It'll be a couple weeks ago at Hermosa, but it was that little bit of like pininess to it, but it was super refreshing. Like, when you can find that kind of happy balance, those are the
ones that go down nice and smooth.
Oh yeah, those you can probably chug pretty good.
Yeah, like I've also seen like quite a number of like hazy West Coast IPAs too.
I haven't seen those.
Where hazy West Coast. I forget what breweries do. I know Humble Sea's done a couple.
Okay.
But like it tastes like a West Coast, but you see the color. It looks a little darker, a little foggy.
Yeah.
But like it's like it's got that taste to it. It gives a little bit of a hint of that hazy taste to it.
Yeah.
But like in the back end, you get that bitterness of it.
Okay.
And they're really good.
Yeah.
And like I enjoy when I can find a good one like that.
Oh yeah. You don't the ones I've been really loving too, is like New Zealand, when they're talking like all the New Zealand like IPAs that have been coming out.
Yes.
Especially
with Phantasm.
Oh yeah, dude. They like, and not every brewery is doing it, but I mean when they are, I'm like, sign me up, take my money.
Like, a New Zealand IPA? Shoot it. I gotta have it.
Yeah. It's
just like Cold Stone, gotta have it.
Oh yeah, dude. It's so good, man. It's like when you find those beers, and like, you know, even like with Noble, like there's a reason why I keep coming back.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously it's because of the beer, but it's also because of the people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I freaking love Josh. I love Paul. I love Jimmy. Like everybody I've met here, even like Christy, who's, you know, behind the bar. Like she's like, you know, from Hawaii, and like I have family from there, so we instantly connected on, you know, all that sort of stuff. Everybody's just super cool, and they put out a quality product.
Yes, that was one time I was here pre-gaming for a Ducks and Kings game one time.
Yeah.
I had a friend that I was taking to the game.
Yeah.
And while I was waiting for that friend to come by, like I'm just hanging out with Jimmy and Paul drinking, and Jimmy comes out with like 3 mugs, like of an of a hazy IPA.
Yeah.
And he puts them down in front of us 3, and I'm like, "Who's that for?" Oh, that's for us 3. We're about to chug. Like, say less.
Yeah.
And like right as I finish, Jimmy finished right next to me, and then Paul, I'm like, God damn, Jimmy, you're quick.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
And so I was still waiting for us to get another one like that, but those are fun times. Like when they treat you right, like you want to come back. Like Jimmy, Paul, Josh, great dudes. Like there's more than beer as a reason to come in here.
Oh yeah.
Plus, like the environment, the ambiance, it's just a cool spot to hang out.
Yeah, and they have all the local games on. They have all that sort of
before
stuff.
A game.
Yeah, and they even have they always have like events going on, like with like the frisbee golf.
They'll have Violent Gentlemen here.
Yeah, Violent Gents. Yeah, I'm actually wearing their the Noble Violent Gent shirts today.
A handful of food vendors here.
Oh yeah, and you know what's cool too is well, they actually put on that event for like people like us, like, you know, for people from Instagram and stuff like that, for podcasts, you know, all that sort of stuff. And that was such a fun night. I mean, like
because that was the first time I actually kind of talked to you like in person was that night because we've
industry night,
yeah we've kind of like DM'd each other before or whatever stuff like that, but being able to like that night was cool because we all got to we got flights for free and all that sort of stuff. It was like a an influencer kind of night, I guess. And it's cool that they do stuff like that.
Yeah, and then like the reason I was here for that was because I also work with Hardyhood Distribution.
Yeah.
Which helps deliver Noble and a bunch of other beers. And like when I'm not working full time, I'll help them out and like I'll deliver beer for them.
Oh yeah, Hardyhood's awesome too.
Yeah, like I have a great time doing that. I'm all day long. I'm working with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Like I'm providing smiles with beer.
Oh yeah.
So and once they see the beer come in, I'm coming in with a smile on my face. And it's a good time because especially when I've tried the beers that I'm delivering, I can actually talk about them and let them know how much I like them and like these beers are gonna fly off the shelves. Like about any brewery that I bring in, like if I've tried them, I can talk about them, and that's one thing I really love to do is just talk about beer.
Yeah, man. I mean, and that's one of the things that one of the reasons why I wanted to set the show because, I mean, because I talk to brewers and I talk to owners sometimes and stuff like that, but I like doing this. Mm-hmm. Like, I like being able to talk to, like, that's why I started, like, the Instagram spotlight stuff. I mean, that's what I initially called it. I don't call it that as often anymore. But I just, like, because I love having a conversation with someone that loves beer.
Yeah.
And, being able to sit down and, especially when I can do it with people across the country, too. Like, or, like, people in Canada or wherever. Like, because if somebody ever travels there, they're like, oh, I think Mike talked to someone that was from there. Let's check that out.
Yeah, and that also, like when I was working out in Oceanside near Carlsbad, I actually did visit a couple breweries because of you mentioning them.
Yeah.
Like, well, one specifically was Virgin.
Yeah.
After listening to that Virgin episode, I remember there's an episode on Virgin. Let me listen to it while I'm at work.
Yeah.
And then later on, I'll go stop by the brewery itself. Yeah. And I also asked for Mackenzie that she had on the episode. Yeah. And she wasn't in that day, but I still got to enjoy some beers there and check it out.
Yeah.
That was a cool time.
It was a kick-ass spot, huh?
Yeah, that's a cool spot.
Yeah, I love like everything's kind of like natural. Like it's like, because even when you look at their logo, it looks like roots, like growing the beer and stuff like that. And they have like that tree on the inside.
I love the explanation of Virgin 2 itself.
Yeah.
Like this is to grow.
Yeah.
That was a cool little explanation she had.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Should we chug these?
Let's do it.
Here? Chug the rest of these. This will get you there. But I've never even seen the little glasses before. True brewability is nice.
Oh, nice.
I think you finished yours like more than half the time that it took me to do mine.
Oh, I mean, I was sipping on mine too. That was a damn good stout.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Humble Sea. Like I've had nothing but good. One of my favorites was called Socks and Sandals. I think it was called. Banger.
So they have a handful of variations of it. They've done a double Socks and Sandals, a triple, a quad. They've also done.
They had one that was like Bart Simpson. It looked like Bart Simpson was riding a skateboard. Almost.
Oh, that was Bart Shrimpson.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was something
I remember having that one. They even did a pineapple Socks and Sandals that was really good. They did a Riwaka Socks and Sandals. Then they'll do like different hop variants of it, and like they just have like all their hop combos that they do. They're really good.
Yeah,
like I haven't had a bad beer from them.
Yeah, same. I mean, they've been really good.
The only bad beer I didn't like from them, which is probably my fault because I wasn't into Helles lagers at the time, it was a Helles from them. I just wasn't a fan until I got into Helles lager. Like, damn, I wish I would have enjoyed that a little better.
Yeah.
Because now I can do Helles lagers and enjoy them. But like, damn, I wish I could take that beer back and try it again.
Isn't it crazy how like your palate kind of finds it? Like, because there's always like, I want to say it was like Rachel Binkowski was like Bierkowski. Yeah, she talked about that. Like she talked about how like there's a beer out there for everybody.
Yes.
And sometimes it just takes finding that one beer of that one style, because you may be just like into one style for most of your life, and then you find one that might get you into a sour or like a Helles or a New Zealand IPA or a West Coast or like doubles or triples or whatever. But sometimes you find that one beer.
The first time I ever had a kettle sour was actually here at Noble.
Yeah.
It was I want to say like a Sunkiss or a Cactus Cooler style
Oh, okay.
kettle sour. It was like during COVID too, so like it was only like crowlers to go and stuff like that. So I just got a splash of it just to taste. I tasted and I'm like, wait, what? This is what kettle sours are like? I need
Yeah.
more, especially
Yeah.
this one. Give me a crowler of that. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Honestly, I always get like I think I've said it on the show I don't know how many times, but it's like finding your gateway drug into that specific style.
Yeah. Like like the chocolate ones for stouts was my gateway in. Like, I mean, I've tried them, but didn't like them until I found that one stout I liked, and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I want to try more like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try more until I find some that are like this one.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you learn what adjuncts you like in a stout, and then you'll look at a beer menu and be like, I want that one.
Yeah.
You see something like cacao nibs and vanilla, I want that. And now that reminds me of the one I would get from Pure, which is called Take It Slow. It had cacao and vanilla.
Nice.
It was at 13.9%, and God, it was so good.
Yeah.
I ended up buying a couple bottles of that. It was
There you
good.
go. Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like to me sometimes it's like just finding your kind of like, was it like niche? Something like that. Like, you're finding like, that kind of thing into it. I mean, because I remember like, I think mine was like as a kid, I was like 21 years old and I was able to go to Total Wine. I bought like Young's double chocolate stout or like a Samuel Smith oatmeal stout and being able to do that. I was like, those were my intro into stouts. And then it was like Murphy's. Like, I know people like, don't get me wrong, I'll never knock Guinness, but I've always liked Murphy's more than Guinness. And I feel like that one's easy to chug.
Going to Ireland kind of pushed back my liking of Guinness because it just doesn't taste the same when you drink it here.
Yeah.
It's amazing out there, but when you get back here and try Guinness, like, I want to go back to Ireland.
That's cool though. I mean, because that's not something you hear all the time, but I'm sure, like, if people are listening, they hear that and they're like, oh yeah, that's 100% true. And that's cool to be able to hear that.
Yeah, we went about 6 years ago for St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
It's straight to Dublin, and it was such a fun time.
Yeah.
This was a little bit before my craft beer journey, so I was like, I wasn't out there looking for beer, so I was drinking like Carlsberg and Guinness the whole time I was out there.
Okay.
And then, of course, drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm a whiskey guy, especially Irish whiskey.
Okay, with Jameson?
A little bit. I favorite one more than Jameson, which is Tullamore Dew.
Okay.
That one, you can find a 12-year, 14, 15-year aged bottle, and each one, like I bought 2 bottles for myself.
Yeah.
2 of those versions, different ones for my birthday, 2 years in a row, and when Tampa Bay was in the Super Bowl, I bought that 14-year bottle.
Okay.
When it was getting close to the end, I'm like,
You popped it?
it's time.
Yeah.
Let me go. I'll be right back. Went, grabbed the bottle, opened the box,
Yeah.
and I was like,
That was sounding
who
really
wants
good.
a shot?
That sound effect was perfect.
But like, that was just the perfect time. It's a celebratory thing. Like, who wants a shot of this one?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I mean, I was always a Jameson guy. Like, I mean, I love like bourbons and stuff too. I don't have them as often anymore, especially like I try not to mix as much as I used to. Like, if we're having a party, then fuck it. Well, if shit's going down.
Yeah.
But if I'm just drinking, say I'm just drinking beer now. But Jameson, I don't think I've ever told this story on the show. I'd have to think back. I don't think so. So I lived in Whittier for for like 5 years.
Or they say that girls are prettier.
Yeah, that is what they say. So what I did was I started, as soon as I moved in, because I lived at another spot for like 6 months, and I moved into my place in Whittier. And I kept a couple bottles at the old place. I was like, I should just save my bottles. So I threw the ones away when I moved, but when I moved into Whittier, I saved every bottle I had from the 5 years I was there.
And I used to do that.
Yeah, guess how many bottles I had?
Over 30.
So it was during the 5-year span.
Oh, then I want to say a little above 60.
I had over 200 bottles.
Oh, God. You must have had a lot of friends over in that 5 years.
You would think so. I had friends over, but man, it was I had over 200. I filled up one blue barrel of empty bottles, and then I filled up another one the next week.
Oh, dang.
It was pretty crazy. We had a party for my 200th bottle in the back house. Yeah, but most of the time,
God, this is 200. Let's
Yeah, it was fucking rage. Yeah, it was. I mean, I used to be proud of it. Now I'm like,
I was
fuck, bro.
damn.
It's like, what did I do to my liver?
But it's cool. I got my pops into Irish whiskey, so now like whenever we're hanging out, having people over,
That's cool.
he'll
Man.
ask me, "Hey, pick up a bottle for later."
Yeah.
And like we were doing our fantasy football draft on Saturday, and my pops was because we always do it in person, always live draft. And
Okay.
with this league's been about like 16 years, I want to say.
Oh wow.
And this one, every year we do it live in person, and we always have something a different way of figuring out the draft order. This year was the second time we did it, where we used WWE 2K whatever
Okay.
on Xbox.
Yeah.
And you just all we do is assign, like, put it all CPU controlled. Everybody random entrance. Everybody pulls name wrestlers out of a hat.
Okay.
And whoever your wrestler is, whenever he comes in, is when he comes in. Whoever gets eliminated first, you're the last pick, and then the last one to survive, you get the number one pick.
Oh shit, that's cool.
And so we did that. I had the immortal Hulk Hogan, so I got number 7 pick. I got eliminated like to the 7th, so I got the 7th pick.
Yeah.
Picked Austin Eckler. I feel like that's a solid pick.
Solid pick, yeah.
So like my pops is hanging out with us the whole time because we had it at the house, and he's sitting there drinking with us. Like, hey, order a bottle, just put on my card, get some whiskey.
Like DoorDash or something?
Yeah, I ended up downloading Grizzly.
Oh, okay.
And then I ordered it through that, and then we had maybe like that much, maybe like a quarter of the bottle left.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, it's funny because my pops, when he's drunk, he'll end up calling his sisters to see what they're up to. Just like, I like wait, because I work with a couple of my cousins.
Okay.
And he was talking today about how. Yeah, your pops called my mom the other day. We were on the way home from the Dodger game. And I'm like, what are you doing? We're driving home right now. All right, what are you guys doing, though? Who's driving? My pops is driving. Oh, what's up? He's just, I can tell he's buzzed, like, with what he was telling me. Well, like, just, since I got him into Irish whiskey, like, that's all he drinks with me, too, now. Like, we'll just take shots of Tullamore Dew or Jameson.
Okay, nice.
It's just such a smooth drinker over, like, American whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Irish whiskey's just so smooth.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm always down for, like, Tullamore Dew or something like that.
Oh, for sure. Like, I always feel like, when it comes to the whiskey stuff, and I don't know, I'm trying to think, because I don't think I ever really talked about whiskey on the show. But, like, I enjoy it. Like, I mean, I still, like I said, sometimes I go hard. I think the last time I had it was, I want to say it was, like, back in, it was right after, no, it was right before I started the tapper. And it was still taps and tailgates. Mm-hmm. And I got fucking blasted, dude. Like, my brother has a picture of me, and he called me Joe Swanson. Because the way I was, like, set up, I was, like, fucking A.
I can imagine that.
Yeah. So it was bad. I mean, it was just a fucking, like, I think because I was at my brother's father-in-law's party.
Jizzy?
Yeah, Jizzy. I actually got to show you some of the new cans he's working on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we were doing that, and I think it was like 9:30, and the party went on to like 2. I was passed out by 9:30. Fucking trashed.
I had a cousin that
I went
thought
hard.
she could drink all night long. I forgot what she was drinking, probably everything. And it was New Year's, and she didn't even make it past like 10 o'clock. She didn't even make the countdown.
Well, dude, that's what happens when I mix stuff, bro. Like, as soon as I start mixing, I'm done. But, like, if I stick to just if I'm drinking just whiskey, I used to be able to go through, like, a bottle of
Yeah,
by
like
myself.
whiskey and Coke, or just whiskey straight, just on the rocks.
Dude, I would just do shots, and I'd finish the bottle by the end of the night. And sometimes I'd have to buy 2. That's why there was so many over those weeks.
But then once you mix it with vodka or even beer,
I would only chase it. Like, I mean, I would chase it, but I mean, I would. At the end of the night, sometimes I needed it. I needed like a Pepsi or a Coke to keep that last one down. Because I think on my actual regular Instagram, like, I think there's a picture of me not of me, but I posted one at like 6:30 in the morning when I took my last one, and then I knocked out.
So,
Cheers.
are you Pepsi or Coke guy?
You know what? When I was doing whiskey, it was Pepsi because it was cheaper. But I honestly could care less either way. Like, I could do root beer with it.
Oh, honestly, root beer with whiskey's good.
Oh, yeah, like Barks or whatever. Barks was
Yes.
good. A&W's bomb. I'm a huge root beer guy. So anytime I go down to, like, Old Town, because they have a root beer and jerky shop, it's my jam, brother. That is my jam. Just chug this over.
Cheers to that.
I had to grab another beer. Naughty sauce, because you mentioned the coconut earlier. So this is their coconut lime,
Which is what I normally stay away from.
Yeah, exactly. But this
Cheers.
one is pretty good. And
All right.
yeah, so let's give it a
Let's
whirl
give it a
here.
whirl. I almost chugged it. I stopped myself on that one.
It's smooth though, right?
On the nose,
Yeah.
I got like straight coconut,
Yeah, you get the coconut, and then
but it's not bad.
Yeah, on the back. Well, at least what I get, like on the back of the palate, I guess, is like I get like a little bit of like almost like the lime, like the rind coming through. That's where I get that.
Yes, like you don't taste coconut all the way through.
Yeah, you get a little bit of acidity just towards the end.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, before we we went and got the other beer, you were talking about like traveling and stuff like that, and like the different places you've been. Are there any other breweries that you've been to that you would want to like highlight or shout out?
Well, to start off, I mean, as I mentioned before, Humble Sea. It was my first time going out there. About a year and a half ago, I went out to San Francisco, hang out with some friends, and then from there I went to Sacramento, visit more breweries. But as I mentioned, Humble Sea being my favorite brewery, it was an amazing time visiting that spot in person for the first time.
Yeah.
My buddy Pedro Baracho took me there. He lives in Frisco, and it was so dope to visit the Pacific location because
Yeah.
not far from there, there's a Taco Bell. And
Okay.
hold on, hear me out. Hear me out.
Hey, I like Taco Bell. I'm not knocking you.
There's a Taco Bell on the beach to where you can, like, if you get
shit.
there at a certain time of day, you go on the little patio area and watch a beautiful sunset with some tacos, and
Yeah, there you
and
go.
they also serve beer there too. Not Humble Sea,
Oh,
but
okay.
just regular domestic beer.
Yeah.
But it was cool because you can just go out there, eat some Taco Bell, and just see the sunset.
All
I
right.
took my shoes and socks off and just chilled on the beach for a
Kicking
little
back,
bit.
having a couple tacos.
But from there, we went over to my buddy's pad and hung out. We drank, and then went over to Sacramento, which also has a ton of great breweries.
Yeah.
Like Sacramento is spoiled when it comes to breweries because they
Yeah.
have a lot. If you go to the Rancho Cordova area, you'll have spots like Burning Barrel, Log Off, I think, what's the other one? Flatlands. And then not too far from there in Rockland, you'll have Shred, and then Slice is in the area too.
Okay.
And then another one that I've traveled to as well in Florida, which is another one of my favorites, was Woven Water.
It sounds really familiar.
They make some amazing stuff, sours and IPAs, and I also have some stouts from them too.
Awesome.
They make some really good stuff, and that's one spot I'll be going to when I visit Tampa again.
Cool. Well, if you
There,
bring
and
any
then-
back, let me know.
Oh, for sure. And then also Magnanimous out there in Orlando, or they're in Tampa, Magnanimous and Woven Water in Tampa. Really
Okay.
good spots.
Gotcha.
But then some local stuff to me, like in my little vicinity, I have Shadow Grove Brewing, who just did their 1 year in last September. Probably they're going to be doing their second year pretty soon.
Okay.
They opened up during COVID too, which is
Dang.
impressive that they're still kicking around.
Cool.
They're still standing. They had a fire, like an electrical fire that shut
Oh,
them down for a
shit.
little bit, and they were just worried about saving the beer that they had in barrels.
Dang.
But they were able to manage, and they're still running.
Wow.
They got back on their feet. And then I also have 818 Brewing.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Chew Your Beer, 818 Brewing.
Yeah. And then, that's a cool spot. I love
Yeah.
that. That's another cool spot I like to go to. Not too far from there, like down the street from there is Hand Brewed Beer.
Yeah.
And then you also have Tarantula Hill, not
I
too
love
far
Tarantula
from there.
Hill.
Good stuff there.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Did you know the owner actually was do you remember the song Heaven is a Half Pipe from the 90s?
No.
I would play it on here, but then they'd probably get sued. I'll play it for you after, but there's the band OPM.
Okay.
He was the lead singer of that
Really?
band. Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then about 40 minutes west from me, Casa Agria, really good spot.
Dude, I I've reached out. I don't know how many times. Like I'll repeat messages. I'll even unsend them, and then
Just send it
just so they get a notification, and then resend the same message.
Then-
But I mean, I haven't heard back yet. But I mean, maybe one day. I mean, I know they've seen it a couple
I
times.
just went
but-
for their 7th year anniversary, and they had 7 different collabs for the anniversary.
Oh, I know.
One being a collab with Zach, who was with Slice at the time, and it was their first triple IPA. And to me, like that was in January.
Yeah.
If it was released a month earlier, that would have taken beer of the year for me, like me
Yeah.
personally.
That's
it was
awesome.
a triple hazy IPA, and God, that beer was amazing.
What was the percentage? You said it was a triple.
10.3, I think.
Oh, not bad.
But as of now, from January, that's still top 3 for me.
Okay.
And then you go a little bit east from where I'm at, and you'll have Paperback, and there's a tap room right there, and right couple like on that same block, Glendale Tap, cool little spot. And then if I go 40 minutes the other way, I'll find Aero Lodge, which I love to go to.
Love Aero Lodge.
The
Yeah.
Aero Lodge is one of my go-to spots because I don't mind the drive there.
Yeah.
And the
And it's like
ambiance,
West
the
Covina,
environment. Yeah. Everybody there that works there knows me. It's always a good time there.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite beers that I've had from them. Oh, it was a great beer. I think I gave it like well over an 8, but back when it was Taps and Tailgates. But it was the Brett the Hitman Hart one. It was the best there is,
Best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will
be.
be. I did a reel with that beer. I
Dude,
wish I had more
that
cans of that one.
Fucking like, I wish they would bring that one back because it was a fucking fire. And actually,
That was a good West Coast.
Yeah, and the owner of Aero Lodge, like we're still hopefully we can make something happen. But initially, I remember when I first started out, was when I first changed the name. Like we had initially had something happen, but I know like he's so busy, like So I mean, it is what it is. We'll eventually make it work.
We'll have to go and get some drinks there one day and
I'm
see what-
down.
Like yeah, Mike's always cool. He's always
Yeah.
a dope dude to talk to, drink
Yeah.
with.
It's crazy how old. Like,
It
a bunch
was
of
just
people
his
are named Mike.
birthday the other day, and that's another Mike.
Yeah.
And I posted because they recently this last year opened another spot in downtown LA, Arts District.
That's when he
And
was
there
doing
was
all that.
A funny video where I was gonna do a chug with some friends, and then he comes up, grabs my phone, turns it toward him. He's like
Yeah.
licking his finger, wipes his eyebrows, gets all
That's
pretty for the
awesome.
camera. Then he grabs my beer and just chugs it.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
like, what just happened? And he walks away.
He just stole your chug.
I had to post that for his birthday. That was too funny.
That's fucking awesome.
But they're awesome at Aero Lodge. That's another
Yeah.
spot I'd never mind taking a little drive to.
And Dre works there from Louis too.
Yeah, she's there a little bit.
Yeah, and I love Dre, love Lucy. I mean,
Yeah.
Louis, like when it was Taps, like we were still, like they would always hook us up with with a few free ones and stuff like that. Lucy was on the show, actually, because I've been slowly. Oh, we'll talk about that after. But Lucy's going to be back on the tap room.
Nice.
Probably I think towards the end of September ish. So hopefully her and I can hammer down a date and
Yeah,
do
that'd be
that.
cool.
That'd be fun.
She's such a fun-loving person.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Super energetic, super sweet.
Yeah.
Every time you go in there, if you're a new customer she hasn't met, she will go out of her way to introduce herself to you,
Mm-hmm.
show you around, say, here's what we have here. This is what we have here. You want sours? You want IPAs?
Yeah.
What do you like? She'll point you in the right direction. She's such a sweetheart, super helpful, and she will have no problem talking to a new customer.
Oh, for sure.
And if you're a returning customer, she always show love too.
Yeah, and I incidentally met my girlfriend through her.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, every time I walk in, unannounced, hey, or sometimes I'll hit her up, hey, are you in the liquor store today? No, I'm out running errands. Like, all right, cool, I'll catch you next time. Then I'll just walk in unannounced and she's like, brewskis!
Yeah.
It's such a warm welcome, and I love it.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's awesome. I mean, and that's one of the things, whenever I talk about Louise on the show, I always try to, make sure I make it a point to, how well they know their stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not like where you're walking into the store, one thing I love about going to a brewery, especially if they have, someone with some type of beer education, and they're like, oh, what do you like? Okay, well, I like this kind of thing. Well, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
And Louise has that. For being a liquor store, having that is, to me, it makes it even better.
Yeah.
And they carry a lot of great breweries in there. They have so much, every time I go in, there's something new from Pure Project.
Yeah.
which is what I always go for.
Like she's one of my favorite people to go visit because not taking anything away from Louis Liquor, but like
Yeah.
also want to like because we're talking about local stuff.
Yeah.
I'm closer to Bottle Shop.
Oh yeah.
And I can sit like George, the owner. I can sit and talk to him for hours, just
That's
about
awesome.
beer, about what's going on, personal life. Like I could just talk for him.
Yeah.
Talk to him for hours.
Yeah.
And but like we'll both either it'll be one of us saying, all right, I'll let you go. Like I don't mean to hold you for too long, and we'll separate and just go our separate way. But he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Just like Lucy does, and like I can talk to either one of them forever.
Oh yeah. I even have a Bottle Shop sticker that Chew sent me on my beer fridge.
And it's funny because speaking of Chew, there was one time we both had a mutual friend that was in town from Tampa.
Yeah.
And he was hanging out with him, staying with him for the time being. And my friend Junior, it was what's his name, Beer Warbler. And he hit me up and said, "Hey, I'm at Shadow Grove. Come through." Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna head over right now. I went over there. That's when I first met Chewy Beer.
Yeah.
And then it was cool meeting him. I went to, and I heard him talk about it in the episode when he was trashed at the beer fest.
Yeah.
And I ran into him. We kept crossing paths, but I did not see him fall.
Yeah.
I wish I did. Because after hearing his story, like, God, how did I miss that?
Yeah. He's
But
such
that
a
was a
good
fun
dude.
day. Yeah, that guy's cool. I like him.
He's cool as fuck. Because I remember, I don't know if you've heard the thank you episode yet, but
Yeah.
when I talked about how nervous and shit I was, but when but that was the last couple episodes of Taps and Tailgates when I was trying to not transfer, but make it into what it is now. And then when I went to, I think it was episode, I don't know what episode it was that I was releasing that Sunday, but he messaged me on a Saturday, and he tagged me. He went to Unsung, and he tagged me, and he's like, I came here because of your podcast. I was like, okay, that lifted, I felt like it lifted so much weight off my shoulder, and I'm not a big guy.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it just made me feel like, okay, fuck, I'm doing something right. I feel like I'm doing okay when it comes to this stuff. But I mean, yeah, he's just such a good dude. He's a super nice guy. He's funny as shit. He came
he's
down.
cool.
Yeah, we hung out at, what was it? We went to Unsung, we went to Monkish, we went to everything. Have you been to everything?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said everything. Dumbass, yeah.
Cool spot. That's a really cool spot.
Yeah, they have some triples there too. They'll only give you
10 ounce
8
pours?
ounce,
Yeah.
8 to 10 ounce pours. But it's great. They're
some
not
good
overly boozy either, but they're fucking scary, dude.
Yeah, and it's funny because what had me listening to the podcast too more was me. Well, not only was it that I had a long drive over to Oceanside when I first started working on the area,
Yeah.
I just wanted to listen to something to start my drive because normally I'll listen to Heidi and Frank on KLOS,
Okay.
but that doesn't start till 6:15. So I'm on the road 5 o'clock already.
Yeah.
So let me put something on. You know what? I know a podcast I could put on. Let me put on the tap room.
Yeah.
So just listening breweries that I'm familiar with that you brought on, and then just listening. All right, I like this podcast. Mike knows what's up.
Yeah.
And just listening, and I found episodes where you had Virgin and just all these episodes. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep listening. I'm gonna try to catch up.
Yeah.
And that's when I ran into you. I don't know. I remembered running into you. We were talking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm let me try to at least get up to date before he pulls me on one day.
Yeah.
And I did visit a couple. Hey, what's up, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah, Jimmy's here. You wanna come in and say hi?
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for this beer.
Oh, yeah, well, it was all
I like
him,
it.
brother.
Dude, where is this from?
Yeah.
This is Humble Sea.
Oh, you're talking about that. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is fire. What percentage is that?
That's a
13.4.
4. Yeah,
Well,
13.4.
we're having your naughty sauce right now, if you know what I mean.
I gotta
Giggy.
have this.
Cheers.
Just pass
Cheers,
it through,
brother.
guys.
Yeah. There's a little Jimmy on the episode. Awesome, dude.
Little cameo.
Oh, yeah. So, sorry, what were you saying?
What was I saying?
You were listening to the show and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what pulled me in to go visit Virgin. I meant to go visit Epic and Dogleg, spots that you mentioned. I do want to go visit Coronado, that you talked about. Like, I want to do that little trip that you did that one time for your birthday weekend.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, because I know that's why I know I'm gonna have to get like an Airbnb or a hotel.
Yeah.
Because I plan on doing the same thing.
Yeah.
There was one time we actually went out to San Diego with Steve from Hardyhood and some friends, and we got an Airbnb. We stayed in North Park area, took an Uber to North Park, and then walked to Seek from there. Had to go support because they're one of the accounts we help deliver with Seek.
I want to go there so bad because every time I see their stuff, it looks good.
They make amazing beers. It just sucks like their cans don't get recognized as easily because of the can labels. But if you know Seek, then you know. Like it's not one of those things. If you know, you know. Yeah. You see their label, like give me a couple of
That's why can art is so important.
Yeah, it is, and can art is. And for after Seek, we all Ubered back to the house, had a couple drinks, changed, went out, went to some bars. Most memorable bar that I can remember that we went to that night was called the Coin Op. Yeah. It was like a barcade. Okay. And that place was fun, like all like video game themed beers. I love that. Playing pinball, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, playing all these games. Then we get back to the house, order pizza. I don't remember the night after ordering pizza. that's where I checked out. But the next morning I wake up like, huh? What happened? When did I go to sleep?
Yeah. How long have I been here?
Like, why do I have no clothes on?
It's the fucking hangover.
Like, crap. Let me find my drawers. Where they at?
That's fucking funny.
But yeah, I love traveling to new breweries like that. Yeah, man. Especially like San Diego has a lot of good stuff.
There's so many down there.
And like more San Diego breweries that I have not hit. There's a ton out there.
Yeah.
And then even going out of state, like I would love to go to Arizona to visit some breweries.
Oso is one you got to hit.
Yeah.
Oso was awesome.
Oso?
Yeah, it was like that was one episode I was so worried about because it was so loud.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was so loud in that episode. But I was like, that's when Chu told me, he's like, dude, I love that.
So you hear the ambience of the whole brewery itself.
There, yeah.
And then I think it's Goldwater. Yeah, Goldwater in
what's that?
In Arizona and Bottle Shop, I believe it's called, or the Beer Co. I think.
I think like that female beer hit.
Yes.
She's told me like
she sent me some of those beers. Yeah.
Yeah, I asked her about different breweries to hit, and that's one thing I love about the craft beer community. You can talk to anybody in the thing, but that's why I like to do it like this because even if I'm just doing something remote, like we can talk about I'm gonna be there next month. Or for this, or for that, or I'm going to visit family. Oh, I didn't know that brewery was there. It was down the street from my mom's house. Or something
it's dope.
Yeah,
but it's funny that you mention her because she's a Mavericks fan. Don't throw your beer at me, but I'm a Clipper fan.
Hey, no, I'm a Bulls fan, brother. So,
but
we're dog shit.
The first time that the Clippers and Mavericks had that 7-game series, like 3 years ago, I told her, "How about we make a chug bet for whoever wins the series?"
Yeah.
Sure, they won 7 games. Like, you know what? I'm going to chug with you. Let's just both chug at the end of the series. So we did, like, after the game. And, like, no, she's cool as hell. She's cool as hell to chat with.
Yeah, dude, she's super cool. And, like, I remember one time she was like, hey, because, she follows on Instagram. So she messaged me. She was like, hey, I listened to one of your episodes. She's like, it was really good. I want to go back and listen to the other ones. I was like, oh, cool, thanks. Like, because I'm never, like, I'm not one to be like, oh, tell your friends and stuff like that, or listen to this. If somebody finds it, cool. If they don't,
that's why, like, that one when I was in Oceanside, like that whole few days that I was listening to just your episodes nonstop.
Yeah,
I got posted on my story a screenshot of it, and I was like, yo, come check this podcast out.
I appreciate it, brother.
These are fun to listen to.
Yeah,
very informative, and you're gonna like this one.
Yeah. And plus,
it's always fun.
Like I said, because we can do on this show what we're doing right now.
It's a community.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And that's what the craft beer community is all about. It's, it's even anytime I've talked to brewers or owners, they're always like, oh, we always help out this brewery. So I feel like if they're, why can't we make it us like you did with Chug World, like you and We Are Parched doing it in the Chug World Order, doing it all the way across the country. The guy I'm trying to get, one of my white whales is, we're friends, but Peaky Boozer.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, him and I have been I always keep bugging him. He's just like, because he's a Packer fan, so am I. So we'll talk about the Packers. I'm like, so when are you coming on? He's like, we'll see.
Funny you mentioned the Packers.
Yeah.
Myself and Weir Parch, there have been times where our teams have played each other. First time was in the playoffs.
That NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
And the loser does a chug in the winner's jersey and owes a 4-pack.
Oh, fuck.
Second time was just we did the same bet. We were hanging out at Aero Lodge the second time. First time, he put my Brady jersey on. I wore my Evans jersey, and we did a whole video on that.
I think I remember that.
That was a while
years
ago.
Like, what, 3 years ago? Probably?
And then the last matchup, he got me back. He put me in a Aaron Rodgers jersey. And it was funny because I was his son's jersey. And it actually fit a little snug, but I put that on. And I'm like, I even did the discount double check right before the chug.
Nice.
I got to go full in if I'm going to do it. I lost the bet fair and square.
That's freaking awesome, though, man. I mean, one of the things, like I said, I mean, and I know I probably harp on it all the time, and I think I overthink things a lot when it comes to the show, because I think like people probably get tired of hearing it, but it's just what beer does. Like I mean, like when you find your your community or your niche, and you can find that, or to quote Boy Meets World, he's a niche. And like remember Mr. Feeney was like pretending he was. Oh, Eric told Mr. Feeney he was drinking. Sorry, that was a Boy Meets World reference on the show. But I love Boy Meets World. But when you can find that community and you can find that kind of group, to call your own or to call your family, and to me that's super important, because not all families blood, So not to get all super sentimental or anything like that. I'm not trying to be all sensitive, like I was on the technically the last, not the last episode, but the Tapping in America. Yeah.
There you go.
But it's cool, man. Like it's freaking, like when you can meet people and just so happen to have the same likes, dislikes, stuff like that, like wrestling for us, and like we're going to talk about comic books in a little bit, but to me that's awesome.
And then what I used to do, well, not used to, but like what I was doing up until I take breaks here and there, but I was doing Instagram lives on Monday nights, so I'll call it Monday Night Beer Fridge. Okay. I was doing that for a little bit, and I would like to spotlight, like you do, I was spotlighting like brewers, like their breweries, tap rooms, liquor stores.
That's awesome.
And stuff like that, and and even just people around the craft beer community.
Yeah.
Like was one time I had Craft Beer D's AZ. He does glassware, like super dope
awesome.
glassware. And I had him on, and we talked about his glassware. And what it was like, what really first started it was me and a buddy Dookie. He brought it up to me, and he was like, "Why don't we do a Monday Night Live, going live during Monday Night Football games, and we'll have on people that are fans of the team that's playing at the time."
Oh, that's cool.
And then we'll be watching the game together while we're talking beer and whatnot. And so it was the Cardinals playing. He's from AZ, so he's a Cardinals fan. We were talking about the game and then also talking about the glassware that he makes and all that. And so after the episode, I put an order in for the Tom Brady glass that he had. Yeah. Because it was his last one. And then he even threw in an extra glass too for me, just for having him on the episode. Like, dude, I appreciate it. You didn't have to, but it was my pleasure having you on.
Yeah.
So I was loving, I was doing it up until I went out of town for 7 weeks. So that took a whole break.
You were gone for a while, because I know that's when you first left is kind of when we started talking about doing something.
And I love just highlighting another friend. She opened up her tap room. They're about to have their 1 year anniversary.
Awesome.
In Bakersfield, Off the Rails tap room. In Bakersfield. If you're ever out in the area, go check it out.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I drive up there, not all the time, but I try to drive up there at least 4 to 5 times a year, because my sister lives in Visalia, which is Tulare, which is 40 minutes, about an hour north of them. So I'm always looking for new places to go to.
Yeah, I had her and her husband on twice. Once before they opened up, kind of getting ready to open, and then once after they were opened up and business was booming for them, just they found like an hour of their time to jump on for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was loving having people on to kind of spotlight them and
Yeah.
like you'd like to do too.
Yeah.
And
that's
like
awesome,
that's what
man.
it was about. Like for my Monday Night Lives, like we'll talk football during football time, but even when it's not football season, we'll spotlight you if you ever want to come in. We'll showcase whatever it is you do, like for your page, anything.
It's cool as shit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't want the spotlight. I want the spotlight on you. Let's talk about what you do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And that way people can come check your page out, come see what you do, check your shop out if that's what you have, order some stuff from you. That like open up people's eyes to what you do. And
Oh yeah. That's awesome, dude. I mean, and I love that because that's what I hope I'm doing as well.
yeah, that like I said, that dude that had my craft beer D's AZ, he ended up getting like some orders after my live ended that night.
That's awesome.
And even my boy ordered some. I had a few people that ordered some off it because he even did a Kobe glass.
Might have to
And
get
a
him on
few
the show.
people, I hope he's still doing his glass work because he's got some good stuff.
Okay.
He had a Kobe glass, a Brady, a Serena Williams.
You know what? I think I remember that because I think I followed him because I saw you post something about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got some good glassware. Really good, really cool dude.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Should we have another drink of this one?
Yeah.
Then
Cheers.
we'll jump into a little bit of comics. Oh, that's good stuff. Because you're wearing a Blue Beetle shirt, so I gotta ask. Have you seen? Oh, I think you told me you were gonna go see the movie, but then the hurricane happened.
And then we had Hillary come through town, so I didn't get to take my nephew.
Yeah.
So I got my nephew into comics by Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
'Cause we're a Mexican family, and
Yeah.
I felt that was the best way to bring him in with
for
Jaime
sure.
Reyes.
Yeah.
Sure enough, he loved it, and then he found out the movie was coming out. Like, Uncle, are you gonna take me to see it?
Yeah.
Every time he sees me, are you gonna take me? I'm gonna take you, dude. Don't
That's
worry, I
cool,
got
man.
you. And then time comes, the day I had planned out for me to take him, freaking hurricane, the storm comes through town.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not driving anywhere.
Yeah.
So I did tell my sister that I'll pick him up this week and I'll take him, but that's gonna happen for sure.
Yeah. Is Blue Beetle one of your favorite characters, or do you have other?
I
favorite
did read a
characters?
lot of his comics as Jaime. I
Yeah.
didn't get to read
Like the
much
Ted
of when
Kord stuff?
when it was Ted Kord,
Yeah.
but it does have a lot of Ted Kord in it with
Mm-hmm.
him as Jaime, which is pretty cool. And then also I love Booster Gold. 'Cause
One of
you
my
can't-
favorites of all
You
time.
can't have Blue Beetle without Booster Gold.
Oh yeah, and that's why I always felt like, because I don't know if you ever watched Smallville, but like I loved that episode when they had Booster and Blue Beetle in the same episode.
Wait.
Did you ever watch that episode?
That's giving me a memory right now.
Yeah, it was like season-
I watched that show like at least 5 times through. That
I want to say it's like
episode-
season 9, I think.
that episode's skipping my mind right now. It's
Yeah.
skipping my memory. I'm going to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, dude, it's a good one, and I loved it because I love Booster because Booster's such a shit talker, and like, he can like he's like has sponsors on his fucking on his
suit,
fucking
yeah.
suit, yeah. And it's like it's cool as shit. Like I love comic books, man. Like going back to like when I was a kid, like it's crazy because I don't know if you're familiar with what Monrovia is. I mean, I guess probably
Yeah.
because it's right by Azusa. But like there's a place in Monrovia, there's a hobby shop there, and when I was a kid, my dad would take me to go get a burger from the burger spot right on the corner, and then the hobby shop to go buy comic books or baseball cards or football cards, and that place is still there.
Nice.
And it's crazy to think like when I was, I mean, because I'm 36 now, so I mean I was going when I was like 7, 8 years old, and yeah, but Booster Gold's awesome.
I'm lucky because of the comic book shop I would frequent. So there was 2 because I live in the San Fernando Valley. There was
Yeah.
2. One was Continental Comics off of Devonshire and Balboa, which is a cool little spot. These guys know what they're talking about. And then I found this other spot called Earth 2 Comics in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah, I love the name.
And this is where I got to meet Jeff Johns in person.
Oh, I met him
And I
once.
can show you a picture, and I was ecstatic to like, this is my favorite writer. This guy's
Yeah.
freaking awesome. And like I was next in line to meet him, and as I'm in line, I'm watching him grab a book from the person that gave him something to sign. It's a little girl, as he's talking to her, he's sitting there just sketching the whole Superman logo,
Yeah.
drawing the whole thing like yo, look what he's doing. What? Look.
Yeah, the new 52 Superman.
And like he's just drawing the Superman logo. I'm like, that's bad to just sketch it so easily, like nothing.
Yeah.
And he was so cool. It was so cool to meet him.
Yeah.
He was dope.
Such a nice
but
guy. I met him at WonderCon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I just happened to walk into him. Like we bumped shoulders and I turned around. I was like, holy shit, it's Jeff Johns.
You're Jeff Johns.
Yeah, it was him and Charles Robin, who was like at that time like one of the producers of like the Dark Knight trilogy and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge Flash fan.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
his Rebirth, like Flash when he did Flash Rebirth for the new 52
Rebirth was good.
Like, I don't know. What did you think of the movie? Like now the Flashpoint.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen it. I just haven't gone to the movies in forever.
Yeah.
I think the last time I went to the movies was Justice League. Justice League and Joker were my last two movies.
I love the Joker.
Joker, I was at the world premiere in Hollywood for. That was cool because I got to see Joaquin Phoenix like walk right in front of me. Then Jason Momoa showed up. My sister's baby daddy does security for Warner Brothers, and he was about to bring him over to introduce me to him, but then what's his name, the producer of the movie, the one that did Hangover.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. He's in like old school. He's like, I'm here for the gangbang. It's him. Oh, it's gonna bite the shit out of me.
Wow, brain fart.
Yeah, it's all good.
But he shows up, so then he has to go give like
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips, yes. He has to give security for him. So like he was gonna introduce Jason Momoa to me in person, because my nephew knows him. Like he knows the family. He's hung out with him and the family. But then he had to go over there. So, but Jason Momoa still comes up and takes selfies with us and everything.
Awesome.
He's such a fan-friendly person. It's awesome. And then Joaquin Phoenix walks up. We're like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was cool because we were in the theater and Todd Phillips is talking to the whole crowd, everything. Like, I have a feeling you guys are going to love this one. Yeah. Sure enough, like, that movie was amazing. Yeah. To the T.
It was so good.
And then so good, I went to the theaters to see it again. Yeah. Same with Justice League. Unfortunately, they did what they did with Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Could have been way better on release, but the Snyder cut was way better.
Oh, yeah. I feel the same way about Batman vs. Superman. Like, the Snyder cut, or the Ultimate Cut is what they called it, was so much better. There were, like, no plot holes. Like, because I think even Zack said it, and he's like, when he was on the red carpet, like, when they released Batman vs. Superman, he's like, there's a 3-hour cut of this movie. And he's but I hope one day you guys get to see it. And, and even with Zack Snyder's Justice League, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Like, it didn't feel like it was 4 hours. It felt like the pacing was good. There was so much going on that it just kept you, like, enthralled in the movie.
And then, which brings me to Flashpoint, this Flash movie. After reading the comics, I was very iffy on seeing it. I still haven't seen it yet, but I'm still iffy on seeing it because of how good the story was in comics. Because you have this whole war, when he goes back in time and changes everything, you have this whole war between the Amazons against
and the Atlanteans.
Yes. And then you have Bruce Wayne going to the alley with his parents. He's the one that gets killed. And you find out his dad is Batman, Thomas Wayne.
And his mom's the Joker.
And his mom is the Joker when she pulls her hand off her mouth and you see the blood on her face with the smile.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, with this movie, you can't have a Flashpoint movie without Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
You can't have it without Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
You see, the one that played Batman, the old one, the original one. Michael Keaton come in and say, I'm Batman with the black and yellow suit. Like, hold on, that suit should be red.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like the perfect person would have been Jeffrey Dean Morgan to just play that because...
Yeah, because he was Thomas.
It should have been Thomas Wayne instead of Bruce Wayne. Like...
Yeah.
That's why I'm super skeptical about watching because I just don't want my opinion on Flashpoint to change on that.
Oh, of course. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, there's so many books out there, or comic books out there, or graphic novels out there. When you read them, and you're so attached to them, and when you see them, and like when they say they're adapting something, it's tough because it's not like they're like that's not how it goes. I mean, and I remember being a kid, like I never wanted people to know I read comic books because I don't want to be called a fucking nerd. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's the fucking popular thing to do.
I didn't honestly get into comics until I was an adult.
Oh, okay.
But like once I got into it, like I freaking love this. I would sit here and read like I would call them like episodes, like issue after issue.
Oh,
Just
for sure.
Pull them out the sleeve, read one, put it back in the sleeve. Next one, pull in the sleeve, all that, and I just read a whole storyline. Like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the next one now.
Do you have any favorite runs or graphic novels that are kind of your favorite?
Actually, yes. Which I almost wore that shirt for today.
Okay.
The Dark Knight Metal.
Oh, the Dark Knight Metal one. Okay.
Oh my God. That was a wild ride. That was
Yeah.
good. Like the Batman who laughs. Oh my.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the man who is it called? The Man Who Laughs.
The Batman who laughs.
The Batman Who Laughs. Okay, because I
And
know the Man
it's-
Who Laughs.
yeah,
Last
that
and
was-
stuff like that.
His team was a Batman from different multiverses that killed a different person from Justice League
Yeah.
and took their powers.
Oh
and he
yeah, it was
pulled
like
them
Justice League
each-
Doom kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, like one that killed Xerxes, or no, my bad, Ares.
Yeah.
And got to put his helmet on and he became a god. You had a Batman
Oh.
that killed the Flash.
I love
took
that
his-
ending. Yeah, I love the ending to that one where he asks who's the Joker. Is it that one at the end? That's the one I'm thinking of, right? Where Batman becomes a god.
Yes.
Yeah, and he has like almost like a blue helmet, and
Yes.
he's like you can ask any
The
question.
Merciless.
Yeah,
And then you have one that kills the Green Lantern and he takes his ring, the Devastator. And then my favorite, you have a Batman that killed the Flash and he becomes a Red Death,
Yeah.
which they integrated into the Flash TV show.
yeah,
I wish it would have been Batman, but they made it Batwoman.
Yeah.
But they still made it good though.
yeah. You know, one thing I loved about the Flash show too is like when they would do like Crisis, they had Brandon Routh back as Superman.
Yes, that
It
was awesome.
Fucking on. He was like, and he looked
Even
like,
though he was
yeah, and it looked
Adam.
like yeah, and it looked like Kingdom Come Superman. It was like that. Like that made my heart so happy. Like, and then even seeing Tom Welling back,
that was great.
working on the fucking Kent farm. I was like, are you fucking kidding
They
me?
really brought him back for this. I freaking
Yeah.
loved it.
The only thing was like, I just wish freaking Michael Rosenbaum would have came back as Lex.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would have completed it.
Yeah, it would have set it over the top.
Yes,
It was freaking awesome. Like, but there's
Rosenbaum
so
was
many-
great as Lex.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters. It'll always be like Swamp Thing. I mean, Superman. If I had to choose a character, Superman's always been my favorite. And I know that that's like an unpopular opinion to have now. Like, not as many people love Superman because they feel like he's too much of a Boy Scout.
No,
But-
he was actually becoming like a family man too because he had John Kent too.
Oh yeah, even like
Him and Lois.
Yeah, one of the ones that like John Byrne did in the late '80s, early '90s was probably my favorite run of Superman, called Man of Steel. And then they did the one where what happened to the man? Is it what happened to the Man of Tomorrow? Someone will send me a thing and be like, yeah, you got that wrong, on the in a DM or something like that. But yeah, it's like, well, I think it's whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, I think it was John Byrne that did it, and it was like he died and gave up his powers, but then they ended up having a son and stuff like that.
That's probably the Superman they showed in the Crisis where
Yeah,
Tom Welling was just on the farm at that
Yeah.
point. That's probably what happened.
it probably is. Yeah, and I freaking love Smallville. Like, and I've talked about it before how we
I
played.
can
Drunk
watch
in
that show
Smallville.
over and over to fall asleep.
Oh yeah. Well, one day you're gonna have to play Drunken Smallville with us and have Jameson, and we'll just get shit faced.
Oh, say less. Say less.
But yeah, like Swamp Thing is one of my favorites too. Do you have any Superman Funkos or anything? Because I know you're like you like Funko Pops.
Actually, yes, I do. I have the black suit Superman,
Awesome.
and I posted that one when I was watching a Justice League movie one time.
Yeah.
I believe I posted it with an unsung beer
Okay.
because they have a lot of superhero type beers.
Oh, they have their Funko Pops. I gave
Yeah.
them the two Jim Lee Funkos that are in there, where all their Funkos are at.
Nice.
So it's them both standing on like a skyscraper. Or it looks like a skyscraper top, but it's both by Jim Lee.
Nice. Yeah, I do a lot of like Funko Pop, like comics. Like I have Green Lantern. I had a handful of Flash ones. Like I have what was his Blood Work. I
Oh
have
yeah,
him. I have Godspeed,
Godspeed's awesome.
Reverse Flash, Red Death, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That one was badass.
Yeah.
And then I have the Batman Who Laughs. I got a ton of DC guys. I just
yeah.
bought the Blue Beetle.
That's awesome.
I went to Target just to look around on my lunch break. I saw they had 2 Blue Beetle Funko Pops left. Like, yeah, give me both of them.
Oh,
One for me, one for my nephew.
There you go.
Let me give him one too.
Yeah, I have. Every year for Christmas, I have a Justice League tree.
Oh, that's dope.
So I made my own, like, out of like shit from like Hobby Lobby or like Michaels or whatever. But I made my own Daily Planet.
Oh,
So that's my
dope.
tree topper out of styrofoam.
Sick.
I have that. Then I always have I have 2 Supermans where it looks like they're hanging from the ceiling, flying around it. One's going up and then one's going around.
Nice.
So yeah, like anything DC, I love. And I love Marvel too. Don't get me wrong, I do. But I mean,
There's some characters from Marvel I do like Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Spidey's always
Wolverine,
good. Punisher
Gambit.
for me. Gambit. Yeah, the Raging Cajun is one of my favorites.
It sucks. Like I have so much beer in my fridge, I always lose which beers I want to post.
Yeah.
Like they could be like somewhere in the back of my fridge. Like I have a Gambit beer. Like it's called the Gambler from Mason Elworks.
Oh really?
And I wanted to put that with because I have 2 cans of that. I have a zombie Gambit and then a regular Gambit.
Oh, from
so I
like
wanted to post them both.
when they did Marvel Zombies and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. Okay.
So like, but every time I look for those beers, I can never find them because
yeah.
I just gotta go through my fridge and just like inventory what I have.
Yeah.
But I have that, and then I also have a Wonder Woman one from Mason Elworks as well. And I have the Wonder
That's
Woman
awesome.
Funko Pop I want to post. Like, I never find them. For Mother's Day, I wanted to do the Wonder Woman just for the badass woman out there, but
Yeah.
couldn't find the damn can.
Yeah.
Like, God, I just got to get more organized with my beers.
Yeah, it happens. I got a couple. I have a bunch of like. I have more Superman pops than I probably have of anything else, but I have a lot of Batman too.
I actually have a friend who did this logo, the Brewski Bonds, the BB one.
Yeah.
He is also a huge Superman fan, and me and him talked about doing like a nerd out live one time. We just talked comics and shoes.
There you go.
And he showed me his Superman Funko Pop collection and figurine collection. He's got a ton of just straight Superman.
Nice.
It's all Superman. Dude, that's badass.
That's
If you ever
awesome.
decide to let him go, let me know.
Yeah. The one thing I like, when it comes to it, because I still have, I have still a lot of the 90s when it was like Marvel versus the DC universe, or the Marvel universe versus the DC universe, or I have I have the 4-part series that I think George Perez did. I can't remember. I might have fucked that up. But when it was like when Justice League versus the Avengers, and Superman's holding Mjolnir and Cap Shield and Mjolnir in one hand and Cap Shield in the other. Yeah, and I think in like the old one that I have, when it was like it wasn't DC, it was DC Universe versus Marvel Universe. That's the one I think where Thor says he's like I underestimated the Kryptonian. Next time it won't happen again. But then he fucking Superman stomps him out later on. So it's all right.
Just like Hulk did.
Yeah. The one I always wanted as a kid was fucking, but it was even now it's like so expensive. It was like Superman versus Spider-Man. That whole thing, that whole run that they did way back in like the 60s or 70s or whatever it was. But one of my favorites that I have is like I have original Spawn versus Batman
Oh, that's badass.
that Todd McFarlane did, and like Spawn, I feel like he doesn't get. I feel like within the comic book community he gets enough credit, but within the actual
movie fandom.
yeah, all that stuff. But because it happened so long ago, he doesn't get enough credit. So,
Spawn was badass.
yeah, Spawn's a fucking bad motherfucker, dude. But it's just one of those things. But like, do you have like some favorite Funkos?
Me personally, my Big Lebowski Funko Pops and
That's
my Stranger
the
Things
dude?
ones. Yeah, the dude is my guy. I have like just the regular one, and then I recently found one where it's just like a movie poster of him, just
Okay.
like a black and white version of it.
That's awesome.
I saw that like they did it for Comic Con. I'm like, yeah, add to cart, buy. I had to get that one for sure.
I had the one,
And he's
yeah.
like with his leg up. He's got the White Russian just standing on the carpet. Like, it's a badass one. I had to get it.
Have you seen their here at Noble their Man's Milk cans? One of them looks like the Big Lebowski, or looks like the dude.
Okay. Oh yeah. I did see that. The new can, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
one's
then
awesome.
also my Stranger Things Funko Pops.
Okay.
Like I have Argyle in the van and outside, and then there's Argyle by himself with the pizza van.
Yeah.
And then I had this big one that was like $50 when it first came out. It's Dustin and Eddie on top of the RV, like where they're just doing that epic solo playing
Yeah.
Metallica,
That's
drawing
awesome.
all the demo bats to them.
Yeah.
Like that, it's like that big of a set too. Like it's
Oh,
huge.
dang.
Like once that came in the mail, like this is so badass.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And if you can find, like, you know, when you find that kind of stuff that you're into or that you love, whether it's like comic books or wrestling or Funko or just beer in general, and you can kind of make that connection with someone, man, that's awesome.
Which reminds me, since you said wrestling, I did have an Undertaker one where he's got that whole full robe.
Oh yeah.
I like to do these fridge chugs, where I open the fridge and you see me just chug a beer and then close the fridge.
Awesome.
I completely forgot I left it in there,
Oh fuck.
and it was like right there on the door with like no railing right there. I opened the freezer too fast. He dropped, fell on the head snapped off, a hand snapped off.
no.
Well,
Oh, 'cause it was
I guess
so,
the
like,
Undertaker's
frozen.
finally dead, man.
Yeah.
Like no.
Yeah. The dead man finally dead. Oh man, that's awesome though. Because I mean, there's so many different Funko Pops out there and stuff like that. And when you find, like, when you're into like the kind of stuff, because even like for me, like I love like anything Ghostbusters, anything not anything DC. Because I mean, I love, like, there's a bunch of different things, but like Disneyland stuff, I love.
I did find a Goof Troop movie. Or
Oh,
Goofy
that's
movie one.
awesome.
Well, it's like a rectangle one like that, movie shaped, and then you see him with the fishing pole.
Oh,
fishing.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
the
I'm
Bigfoot and
a
all that
Goofy
shit.
fan, so I had to get that one.
Yeah. That's
And my
awesome.
cousin, that was so, what's up, you? And give that to my son. Like, get out of here. You get your own stuff for your son. That's
Yeah.
mine.
Say, back the fuck off, Antonio. to quote
Back
Beer
up,
Fest.
Antonio.
Yeah, it's my dick. Yeah, to quote little beer fest there.
It's my dick.
Yeah. But honestly, man, this has been super fun.
Yes.
You know, it honestly, like, one thing I love is because, like, when we're doing this, it's like time just flies by,
You lose
and you don't
track.
feel like, you know, it's been that long. We've been going for about an hour and a half now. But thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. We'll have to do it again. Maybe we'll have to do a Stoutsgiving, because I was talking to Josh and Jimmy and them a couple weeks ago that they got some stuff planned for around November-ish. So maybe we all meet here. We're all on the show together and do a Stoutsgiving.
I'll get a room so I can drink more stouts.
There you go.
So I can stay local.
Yeah. So make sure you follow Eddie on Instagram. It's Brewski Bonds, a BONZ. Brewski spelled the traditional way, like we always do. Crack a brewski, give it a reviewski. But Brewski Bonds, like, you know, we've been, you know, connecting back and forth. You don't forget about the Chug World Order. We are parched. You know, shout out to them. I think, like, I Drink Beer Okay. Is that Amanda? She was always in on stuff like that
she's
too.
always chugging with us too.
The female beerhead from Arizona, or that female beerhead. I'm sorry if I
Drinking
butchered
Padre,
that.
he's always chugging with us too.
Yeah, everybody. Shout out to everybody that's, you know, that's in the craft beer community that just wants to be able to have a voice and come together, because this is what this is all about. I got some other stuff to tell you about after the show. You guys don't get to hear that yet, but we'll see how everything goes. But honestly, man, I really appreciate you being on, and thanks for bringing that fucking awesome beer from Humble Sea. That shit was delightful.
Yeah, it's one of the anniversary beers.
Yeah, they killed it. But we'll do. Let's finish
One more
I'll
thing.
finish this beer off. I mean, I barely got.
Cheers.
You barely got anything in there. But then we'll do a chug for a video. All right, Tap fam. Stay tuned for the outro. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Make sure you follow Whiskey Bonds on Instagram. I will tag him when this reel comes out. When this episode comes out. Should we say this episode was too
Sweet.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Brewski. Like I said, he's a great guy. I'm going to go cook up some sandwiches. Hope everybody has a good week. Got anything to say, Gunnar, before we sign off?
No, going to be a long day.
Yeah.
In the heat, food, beer, Football.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to end it with this movie quote from what's a football movie. Loved it when I was a kid. I think it was with Kathy Ireland. Necessary
She's hot.
Necessary Roughness. I remember I had a Kathy Ireland poster above my bed. My mom didn't know about it.
Oh, yeah. Spewed all over it.
Oh, probably did, yeah. Necessary Roughness. This is, I don't want to put any undue pressure on you guys, but Coach Gennaro's last words were, win or I'll die. All right, take care, Tap. Hope you enjoyed the episode.